Let's welcome Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, don't ever give an actress a microphone. You people are so fucked right now. Do you know I have a secret skill? Do you know that?
No.
I do. Should we just get it over with? We can all go home?
Sure.
Would you hold the microphone for me, please?
You'll never starve.
Hi, Leonard.
You have skills.
I have skills. I have mad skills, as the kids say.
If radio comes back,
I have, by the way, I have a very good sort of late night DJ radio voice. I can drop it down and get into that sort of late night thing. Again.
Skills.
Skills. Mad skills.
What? Now, settle in. We're going to be talking for a while.
It's all good.
Yeah. What would your mother think tonight?
Well, my mother would have loved, both my parents would have loved it. They loved you. They would have loved this. They would have loved, look. You peel us all back to our little selves when we were children. And if you're lucky to have been born out of love, and, this is, I'm their daughter, and I am my grandparents' granddaughter. And that idea, you want me to be your mom? Wow. I might give you my children's telephone number, and they might disabuse you of that great desire. But with all true sincerity and honesty, I am the granddaughter of immigrants from Hungary and from Denmark. And the dreams of those people coming to America, having the opportunities and the difficulties and the heartaches and the tragedies and the tiny little bit of joy. And then they each, both of them, raised 2 children who became these massive stars from incredibly impoverished beginnings. And then to have their daughter, who did not come from an impoverished beginning. I have had a life of privilege, of ease. I've never pretended anything but that. But nonetheless, that their daughter is sitting up here talking to you about the craft of acting, about a lifelong career. I'm 64 years old. I was doing that since I was 19. By honoring me, you have honored my parents and my grandparents and my family and my children, who do like me, by the way. It is the continuum of all of our lives. There's not one person in this room that can't link back to that. And by the way, Leonard's granddaughter is backstage running around with a little torch. And you, I mean, I mean, why are we here? We're here to make families and to bring art to this place. And it's just beautiful to be here. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you. Well, no, excuse me. This is somehow being filmed somewhere, and all of a sudden I'm just worrying about like how jackets,
You're supposed to
try
sit
on a jacket at
you're supposed to
home.
sit on the tail
You're
of your
not
jacket.
sitting in it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm going to see pictures and it's going to be nasty. And so I'm just trying to make sure that it looks okay.
This
This is a raucous group, man. This is,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that the golf tournament where everybody drinks and yells? This is sort of like that. It's
Yeah.
good. I like it.
Yeah, they're not a tame bunch. When we were talking the last couple of weeks, you made mention of the fact that you've never trained. You never had acting lessons. You never went to an acting school. Do you think it just came naturally to you? Do you think it's from having observed your parents at work, if not, at home? Do you think it's intuitive?
Well, it's certainly intuitive for me. I have, I also work with and am very close with many actors who have been to acting schools and Juilliard and Yale Drama School and have worked with acting coaches throughout their careers. And there's not a job they do that they don't do and partner with an acting coach. I was, and it'll just so you guys all understand, you already know this, I was barely could crawl my way out of high school. I got into the only college where my mother was the most famous woman to have ever graduated. They wanted me and my D+ 840 combined SAT score average. I was their girl and they wanted me. And I went to this college and, majored in like criminology and minored in being a little sister at a frat. I had no business in higher education. And I came home from college and ran into a guy that used to teach tennis but now was managing actors, which is, the perfect Hollywood story. And he said to me, they're looking for Nancy Drew, why don't you go up for it? And I went, okay. And I went and auditioned for Nancy Drew at Universal, and I did not get the part, but he said they liked you, and I took the month of January off of school, did an independent study, said I would go to like acting class and dance class and auditions, and could I write a paper for college of how I tried to break into show business. And at the end of the month, I would go back to college, and at the end of the month, I ended up signing a 7-year contract at Universal Studios and quit college. Turn the paper in, by the way. I know you're all thinking like I totally didn't write the paper. I wrote the fucking paper and got credit for it.
Good.
But so that is how I've become an actor. I was never going to be an actor. I was going to be a police officer. And so because of that, oh, don't laugh. I would have been a great police officer. Seriously. And because of that, I am an unplanned actor, and I didn't ever really go to acting class. I felt like I should, and there was an acting teacher named Alan Rich, who's also an actor, a blacklisted actor, a wonderful performer and teacher, and somebody took class with him, and I went, okay, and I went over and did a scene with him in his house, in his living room, and we did this scene, whatever it was, I don't remember. And at the end of the scene, he said to me, well, you don't need acting class. You know how to act like somebody else. What you need is to expand your vocabulary. And basically what he was saying is watch movies, go to plays, listen to music, travel, eat good food, expand your palate so that you have better choices as a performer. And that's literally what I do. I am not an intellectual. I respect the art and the craft. I respect people's process. I understand some people have to go to those great lengths to get to that work, and I don't. And I don't make any excuses or try to minimize that what I'm offering is still valuable and important, even though I go at it from a very natural way.
But then you haven't been asked to play Medea.
And I won't be asked to play Medea. And if you ask me to play Medea, I will say no. And I know what I can do. I know what I cannot do. And I've managed to be able to have a really rich and robust group of opportunities in show-off business.
So we're going to take back to the beginning, because having been alerted by Jamie that this clip existed, we're going to show you her second appearance on film.
So I'm just going to say one thing. I was a contract player at Universal. Part of the thing is they put you in things, right? Universal had 18 hours of network television
dominated
at
television.
the time.
Yeah.
And part of the contract system was that they would just fill those TV shows. And so I was sent to do a tiny scene in a TV show that ended up, I'll tell you what happened after when you see it.
Okay. And we're going to see that clip, and then the first and only Halloween, directed by John Carpenter, and then The Fog.
Are there 3 clips?
The 3 clips in a row.
Okay, so I will tell you this. So no, it's important. So what you're about to see, the first little clip is a TV show where I came in and did this day's work, and about maybe a month later, the show aired, and somebody came up to me on the street and said, "Hey, I saw you on The Tonight Show last night." I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't on The Tonight Show last night." And they said, "Yeah, you were." And Peter Falk, who is the actor in the scene, took the clip that you're about to see on The Tonight Show. My second job in show business, I was on The Tonight Show. But the other thing you need to know was, as a contract player, I was cast in a TV series called Operation Petticoat, which was not a TV series. It was a TV movie. They turned it into a TV series. And I did that for a year on ABC. I was a regular on a ABC half-hour comedy, and I got fired along with 11 other actors. And I thought in that moment that my life was over. I thought that I would lose my contract. I thought, contract players, so you understand, they have the option every 6 months of picking up your option. You don't have the option.
No,
it's
a one-way street.
So it's a one-way street. It's very nerve-wracking, and many people lost their contracts. So I thought for sure I would lose my contract. I'd have to go back to college. Ugh. And had I not been fired from Operation Petticoat, I would not have been able to audition for Halloween. And that is the job that changed my life. So there you go. For anybody out here who has been fired, who thinks it's the end of the road for you, the light at the end of the tunnel or the silver lining to this horrible experience was that I ended up making a movie that would change my life. So there.
All right.